Hi, and welcome to Tennis Volley Talk with Brian Danielson. Sorry, I've been out of touch for a little bit, and I'm getting back to you. I've kind of missed a couple of tournaments of the week. I went to Colorado, and I was going to be doing the Jean King Cup, and then also the Guadalajara, and also the Laver Cup that was being played the week that I left and went to Colorado. I went to go up there to see my uncle that actually turned 98 on September 21st. So it was a very good trip up there. Went to Estes Park. It was a beautiful area up in Estes Park. When I went up there, got to see the Stanley Hotel, stayed right next to the building, right next to the Stanley Hotel. Didn't see any ghosts, but anyway, heard about some ghosts that are there. But with that, also, I just wanted to say in the Guadalajara, we had another American woman that won Guadalajara this year, as compared to last year, which Emma Navarro won her first 500 event in Guadalajara. She had won last year. This year it was Eva Jovic beat Emiliana Arango in the final. She beat her 6-4, 6-1, and she won $164,000 for the 500 event, and the runner-up won $101,000. So not too bad for a week work or for playing for a week. So ended up being a really good tournament, though, too, for Eva, winning her event there. And also in a current 200, San Paulo, let's see, Tatiana Sawa Retikamunga beat Janice Tin 6-4, 6-3 to win her first WTA title. Now, as far as the Billie Jean King Cup, it was being played, and you had Jessica Pegula beat Katie Bolter 6-3, 3-6, 6-4, 6-3, and Emma Navarro beat Stacy Cortal 3-6, 6-4, 6-2. And the USA is in the final against Italy, Paolini and everything. But as the Americans tried, and Lindsay Davenport had some good players on that team, they tried to beat Italy, but actually Italy ended up beating the USA for, again, the third year for the Billie Jean King Cup, which was amazing in itself. And then we went on, you had the Laver Cup. Now, the Laver Cup was, this year they decided to change captains, and they then had Andre Agassi for Team World, and then Yannick Noah for the European Team Europe. Now, that was a change over John McEnroe and Bjorn Borg. Now, with that, also, they had a guest, kind of a secondary coach. And for Team World, it was Patrick Rafter. And then for Team Europe, it was Tim Henman, the British player back in the day that was a real good serve and volley player, too, back in the day. But with that, with Andre Agassi and picking his team, Taylor Fritz, there was a few substitutions because Francis Tiafoe couldn't play with that. And he substituted some teams, and it was held from the 19th to the 21st of September. And with that, he put down, they were behind for a while with Team Europe, was ahead of them. And then he did some wonderful pep talk to a lot of the players and ended up coming up and winning and upping their game, which then Taylor Fritz ended up beating Carlos Alcaraz. And that was the first time that he beat Carlos Alcaraz. And that was an amazing feat in itself. And then as the day went on, the European team won many matches in that second day that brought them ahead. And then that was always all they needed to do is win 2 of the 4 matches that were being played on the last day, which was that Sunday on the 21st, which I happened to go into the hospital that day. Nothing really serious, but it could have been. I still got to get some things looked at. I'm doing okay now. And from what happened, it just had to be there for a few days to have them check me out. But I'm doing okay. But on the 21st, the team, not Team Europe, but the Team World ended up beating Team Europe. And it was Taylor Fritz that actually ended up clinching it. And he beat Andre Zverev, I believe it was, in that last match. And he won that for the U.S. or for the team, for that team world. And he celebrated that. So that's always a good thing to have Team World win, because you always want the Team World to win with that. And now with Andre Agassi being the coach, he really actually did a very good job. And he, I think, was a very good addition as a coach for Team World. Just was able, I could see the enthusiasm and seeing what happened. I had Alex de Minaur on that team, and they played and he also played with Nicholson, and they played wonderful together in doubles to win doubles too. Actually, de Minaur had a ear injury. He actually hit a volley that was hit at him, and he hit a volley, but the racket was up close it was up high on the volley part, and the racket came back and hit his ear and cut his ear, and it was bleeding, and everybody couldn't believe it. But he won the point on the volley. So there's some beautiful points being played in doubles also with de Minaur and Nicholson on the team, and it was an amazing comeback for Team World to come back like that. And it is amazing in itself with having that happen. Now, with that too, Djokovic and everybody, do you think, is he going to be winning any other major tournaments? And do you think, what about the sights of seeing Roger Federer playing in some certain areas and at some certain colleges? Do you think he might be coming back and just doing an exhibition tour, just making sure his knee is okay and it's getting along good? Who would you like to see him playing in an exhibition tour? And it looks as if he still hasn't missed a beat with playing and hitting the ball. And at over 40 now, he could probably still compete with some of the younger guys out there and in winning probably. But who do you think? Do you think it might be Rafa, or do you think he's still kind of on hurting a little bit, or could it be Djokovic? Well, he might take on Djokovic. What do you think about that? Let me know. Like, subscribe, and comment. You YouTubers out there, subscribe, and comment. You're going to be hearing about Racket of the Week here pretty soon. And you podcasters out there, if you want to take a look at the racket, you're going to hear about my Racket of the Week through what I have here pretty soon. And with that, just they're right now also in the process of having they're in China, in Beijing now, at a dual ITA and WTA event. And then they also have one going in Italy, Rendi, Italy, and then in Turkey, Sandcom, Turkey. They're doing that leg of it now with that. So that will all end in October 5th. So maybe next week I might be doing something like that and kind of catching everything up on what's been going on in those tournaments too. So with that, I do have a few things in the works with over the phone interviews. Let me know if you do like those over the phone interviews. I do like doing them, and they are fun to do to get the grassroots of tennis. With that, to find out the grassroots of people's tennis and how they got into the tennis that they're in now. It's always fun doing that too. So with that, too, I do want to start and introduce to you for the racket of the week. Pardon me for that. My notes just kind of dropped there. The racket of the week is a Spalding Lakeside racket. And this is it right here. It's white, kind of a white with then the maple or hardwood there. It has the white A.G. Spalding in gold, and it's a Lakeside in red, but it has a gold ribbon on it. Spalding, an A.G. Spalding racket. Now, the indication is with this racket, you see the ribbons here. Now, those ribbons back in the day, those ribbons, ribbons on the head of the racket indicate that the rackets could be from the 50s into the 70s and 80s before the wooden rackets were phased out. But this particular racket here is probably in at about the, I would say probably around the 50s to 60s era, maybe a 70, but probably late 50s, 60s era racket in that with that too. And the ribbons here, they were really mainly made for decorations and also trying to strengthen the racket head of where the strings were and try to strengthen those. But it was really mainly used were decorative, though sometimes they had a function purpose related to the strings. Some cases, the color of the ribbon or string accent could indicate the string type used. Example, certain synthetic gut strings form from Victor and PDP were known for their specific colored strands on the strings. But with that, that's what the ribbons are for. And that's an indication that when you see ribbons on rackets, they were mainly from 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s until the wood racket was phased out with that. But it's still a very straight racket, very sturdy still. I like the white color on it and the red ribbons with the gold ribbon, and then the Lakeside in red, A.G. Spalding. And with that too. And also the smaller strings around the below and above the main strings on that, that is what they call tribling, used to lock down the main strings, preventing them from sliding against each other and maintaining tensions. Used in the 30s to the 70s in what they were used and how they were used until then, whenever they came out with the dampeners on the racket. So everybody like, subscribe, and comment with you YouTubers. Like, subscribe, and comment. This racket's a very good racket. A.G. Spalding, very sturdy, very straight racket still. I wouldn't advise to even hit with this racket anymore, but because you'd break the strings probably right away. But it's a very nice racket, very hard wood to ash, probably painted white with the white throat here, and then the dark wood, and then having the Spalding ball with that, which is a very nice looking racket too. And it still has the grip on it too. So yeah, you YouTubers, you like, subscribe, and follow, and make a comment. And if you do like the racket of the week, which I do like showing the racket of the week, and then you podcasters, if you want to take a look at the racket, go to my podcast channel, Tennis Volley Talk. Like, subscribe, and comment, if you will. And if anybody has any suggestions what they want me to do or who you may want me to try to get a hold of to cover the root history and their history of their tennis career, and do an interview over the phone. Let me know. I would like to hear it on the comments, and let me know who I could give a call to and try to get a hold of. With that too, that is the racket of the day. So like, subscribe, and comment. And you YouTubers, be sure, and if you want to look at it, go to Tennis Volley Talk and take a look at it. Very, very nice racket also for A.G. Spalding. Now, as far as A.G. Spalding, now that company was really established in 1876 by Albert Goodwill Spalding and his brother, J. Walter Spalding, out of Chicago, Illinois. A.G. Spalding he was also a baseball player, and he began his baseball career in 1871 to 1875 as a pitcher, both for the Boston Red Stockings and also the Chicago White Stockings. Back in the day, from 1871 to 1875, he was a prolific pitcher for both for those teams. With that, and he was the first player to actually become the first 200-game winner as a pitcher, which was really amazing in itself. Now, for the red stockings, with that, and then also the white stockings too. Spalding started making tennis rackets around 1870s into 1800s, as the company was still imported tennis rackets as early as 1878, but they patented their own laminated design in 1905. So what they were actually doing is importing rackets. They were selling tennis rackets as early as the 1870s and 1880s. And then in 1905, they patented their own laminated design in 1905. So indicating that they were manufacturing them by then and continued to innovate with the rackets that they made. But right at first, when they were due, they weren't manufacturing and making their rackets. They were actually then, with that, selling rackets. So they would import them from overseas, and those rackets, and then sell them at their stores, at their sporting goods stores, as an imported, and they would sell them. They wouldn't make them. But in those 1800, 1870 or so was whenever they decided doing that. And then that's about when they started making their own rackets. But then they patented in 1905 their own laminated racket design, which then became popular, and they just kept innovating since then. So with that, I just wanted to let you know I'm back. I'm feeling better, and I will try to get back into the groove of things and doing the tennis podcast. And for you podcasters out there, like, subscribe, and comment, and let me know in the comments what you want, who you might think I could try to get a hold of to make do an interview with. Hit me up with their number, whatever the case. So I will try to get a hold of them. And then you podcasters, if you want to take a look at the racket that I just showed, be sure and like, subscribe, and comment, and get back to let me know what you like and what you'd like for me to do to let you know about that. And I do like doing the tennis. And I didn't play any tennis when I was in Colorado, but I wish I would have. But I was that altitude was pretty high, so it was kind of getting to me. But anyway, it was a fun trip, and I'm back, and I will start getting back into the groove and trying to get some more podcasts going weekly. So thank you very much for joining me, and everybody, it's still nice outside. Get out there and play, and I will intend on getting back out there and hitting the ball because that's what I need to do. So everybody have a nice week, and I will talk to you this coming up week. Thank you very much.